Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Mindful Monday. If it's your first time joining us, feel free to type in comments where you're coming from, any questions, comments, any topics you'd like to hear covered in the future. You can put it all there or private message me as well. In addition, if it is your first time joining us and you type or message us the word mindful, I'll come back around after the show or broadcast here with a link that you can follow, which will give you access to a free recording I did on releasing limiting beliefs, as well as our weekly PDF cheat sheet, which is simply bullet points of whatever we cover each week. So today we are here to talk about 8 simple Japanese concepts to bring more peace and joy into your life. So we chose a lighter topic, and it's based on an article by Ellis Parker because we've been talking about self-esteem and all these things for the love month of February. So we just picked a light topic for this week. And so basically, we'll just go through the 8 simple concepts. So the first one is, and I'll probably butcher the pronunciations, but ikigai. And this concept means a reason for living, which roughly equates to one's dharma, one's purpose, or one's passion in life. And so knowing the ikigai gives Japanese people clarity, motivation, and satisfaction in their daily lives. And so to discover one's ikigai, it requires a great deal of self-reflection and insight on what gives you joy and what natural talents you actually do have. And so the goal is to find that sweet spot where one's talent as well as skills kind of intersect along with what is meaningful to you. And so doing so allows one to focus their time and their energy on what matters most. So that means you get to work without it feeling like work, if you will. All right, so number 2 on the list is KonMari. And so it's based on the author Marie Kondo she wrote this best-selling book on decluttering and organizing one's space. And it's based on assessing each item or each belonging that you have by how much it sparks joy in you. So you actually handle each item. And this method involves kind of tidying up or decluttering your space or your belongings, if you will, based on categories rather than going by room to room kind of thing. And so it involves picking up, like I said, each belonging and determining how much joy this actually gives you, how much meaning it has to you. And this helps one to keep not only practical things, but also sentimental value things as well. And this method helps to relieve clutter and chaos and is said to soothe anxiety and to add mental clarity. It also involves there's about 5 or 6 steps to it. So we're just going through the simplified version. But it also involves imagining your ideal lifestyle as you tidy things up. So that's a fun one too. Number 3 is wabi-sabi. And this means embracing the beauty of imperfection as a natural part of life. So the Japanese utilize this principle in many areas, from pottery to poetry to actually aging. And having wabi-sabi as a belief system allows one to let go of unattainable standards, or perfectionism, if you will, and appreciate things just as they are and use gratitude kind of in the practice. And it's said to give one more inner peace and resiliency. So I really like that one. Now, number 4 is kintsugi, and this adds on to the concept of wabi-sabi because it means finding beauty in brokenness. So this is actually my favorite one. So in Japan, when a plate or a pottery or teacup, whatever it is broken, instead of it being, tossed out or discarded or whatever, it's repaired with a special lacquer that's dusted with gold plating or gold powder. And this transforms that break into a beautiful embellishment as opposed to something that needs to be hidden or tossed out, if you will. So metaphorically, this teaches one to honor one's wounds as a part of the journey rather than being ashamed. So I love that one. Number 5 is shikata ga nai. And so this literally means it cannot be helped. And this concept involves accepting what cannot be changed. And so this can range from unpleasant weather to a business deal kind of falling through and everything else in between, basically. And it's a phrase that often is said like under the breath kind of thing, or just thought in the mind. And this phrase becomes kind of a reflexive habit, if you will. And it's said to redirect one's energy away from frustration or annoyance into, okay, well, this is acceptance. So it's kind of like this too shall pass. So I like that too. Number 6 is omotenashi. And this is the spirit of selfless hospitality. And so this is meant to foster community by anticipating the needs of others before they ask for it, before they ask for anything they need, basically. And so this honors friends and family or, acquaintances. So, there's different ways to invoke this spirit here. You could basically be checking in on friends, family members, colleagues who you haven't heard from in a while. If you live in Florida where it's really hot, you could have extra bottled water around for passersby if they're looking overwhelmed, kind of thing. Basically, this is just kind of anticipating what your guests, what your friends, your colleagues might be needing before they have to ask for it. So it's a very empathetic kind of feeling. And it's said to move one away from feelings of isolation and into a sense of belonging because it fosters that community sense. Number 7 is Genki, and this means living an energetic and healthy life. So it's full of positivity, it's healthy, it includes physical activity, physical vitality, and emotional warmth and brightness or vigor, if you will. And so this means really getting plenty of exercise and sufficient sleep. So it's a little different in Japan because they actually ride their bikes to and from work, so they kind of plan out their day with the exercise involved and enjoy kind of nature on the way. But basically, you want to be getting nutritious meals, getting enough sleep. It can also involve taking stock of emotional relationships and ensuring that they are in alignment with your values, if you will, and then providing that they provide energy rather than kind of detract or pull you down. So it has all of the kind of concepts with it. And then the final one is Shinrin-yoku, which means forest bathing, actually. And it involves spending time in nature to rejuvenate one's mind, body, and spirit. So any type of nature is, of course, good for the soul. But the Japanese love immersing themselves, possibly because they have so much forestry in their continent, in the actual woodland areas. And so the scientific studies on actual forest bathing say that it reduces cortisol, the stress hormone, it lowers blood pressure, and it reduces stress and anxiety. Of course, if you're not in a forested area, you can simply take a mindful walk wherever you are outside in nature. Adding houseplants and essential oils to your home brings nature in. You see a lot of that around here too, but I do like to go outside in nature. And so it's very grounding, and it's very, the Japanese feel it's very healing. So I hope this has been a fun Mindful Monday, and I hope it's useful to you, and we'll see you next week. Take care.